Hello and welcome to The Wargamer, and we're once again looking at some more airbrushing components and accessories and items, and this time we're looking at the Sparmax Airism Viz Compressor. Now you may remember our previous video where we looked at the Sparmax Airism Mini Compressor, and this is essentially the model up. Now in terms of weight and size, it's pretty much the same as the one we had previously, quite nice and compact, quite small. It weighs about 2.5 kilos, about 5.5 pounds, so actually quite portable in its size. Now this has a number of additional features which the previous mini compressor doesn't have. The first of all being this pressure gauge that you can see on there on the front there. It also has quite a nice, a bit nicer finish as well. We've got this metallic steel case and also these chrome panels on either end as well. We also have this on-off kill switch at the top here, and basically this is a cradle, so you pop your airbrush into there and it actually turns the power off. If I just turn the power on here, you can see it's on and then it gets switched off as soon as I press that down like so. So we also get in the set, we also get this cable, which you can see here. We've got this braided hose, which again, like I said in the previous video, I do like these braided hoses over the plastic ones. They don't get quite as tangled, they just feel a bit more sturdy and protected as well. In addition to that, we also get this section here. Now this is a little bit of a strange item. It's not a thing that I've seen before. Most of these items actually get featured built into the compressor itself. It's essentially a condenser unit, but also a pressure gauge as well, you can see there. So you don't actually control the pressure output on the compressor. It's done on this little section here that you get attached. And obviously your airbrush just screws into the top there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some paint into this airbrush and see how this compressor works and obviously how loud it is and things like that. So here we have an airbrush with a little bit of green paint in there just to demonstrate how well a compressor works. Now I've also got the condenser and the valve unit just attached to the airbrush as well. It's actually surprisingly comfortable in the hand. There is one slight limitation though, because if you're working close to a desk or a surface, you'll find that this is actually getting pressed against the surface more so than if it was actually attached here. Now it's not actually affecting the way I grip the airbrush itself, so I've got full control, so that's not too bad there. And one of the those things on it, I can actually adjust the pressure using this valve kind of on the fly. I don't have to kind of keep going over to my compressor and adjusting it there. So you can kind of make fine adjustments using this valve here. So I'm starting around about 30 psi and I'll be changing just to see the demonstration. So I'm going to turn the compressor on. Now it's roughly about 1 meter away from the camera at this point. So it's actually a lot quieter than the mini compressor we looked at in the previous video. It's a little bit softer sound, so not quite as noisy as before, but you'll see when I turn it on now. So again, I'm just putting 30 psi through here. I'm just going to be spraying very lightly on the surface. You can see it's got very nice atomization, very smooth finish like so. And then if I adjust the pressure slightly, so I'm going to increase the pressure here, you can get a much thicker line like so. And then if I again reduce the pressure down, you can see we get a much finer mist like so. Now the only annoying thing, as you can probably hear, is the hiss of air that's actually getting emanated from this valve here. Normally this would happen all at the compressor, but any excess pressure is actually being expelled through this unit here, which can get a little bit annoying on the hand. It's also that kind of a slightly annoying hiss sound that's coming. Personally, it's a nice design, but I would have preferred if the unit was actually built into the compressor itself. Additionally, I don't think this will work quite as well, because if you're holding it in your hand like so, then what's going to be happening is you're pretty much going to be warming this unit up, and it's not going to be condensing quite as well. You want something that's away from your hand. It isn't going to be warming up quite as much. But apart from that, the actual atomization was quite nice. You can see we've got a range of different, kind of like a mid-range 30 psi, about 20 psi there, and about maybe 40 to 50. And this has an operating pressure of about 50 psi, so you can increase the pressure to a lot higher than the mini one that we looked at previously if you wish so. Now this has about 40 minutes operation time before it needs about 15 minutes to cycle down and cool down and things like that, which is a lot better than the mini compressor. But again, if you're working on a big project, then you're probably going to be wanting to turn it off every now and again just to let it run down, cool down, and then just to increase the lifespan of the compressor itself. So that's the compressor in use that we've actually looked at. Let's get an overall summary for the use of the Viz compressor. So that concludes my look at the Sparmax Airism Viz Compressor. Now whilst it's perfect for the beginner and people just starting out with airbrushes, it does lack a few features which would make it appealing to professional airbrushes or people who do a lot of airbrushing in general. One of those main features is the lack of an internal reservoir, which means that whilst you're airbrushing, this is going to be constantly running, which can be proved a little bit annoying for the noise, and it also impacts your airflow slightly as well. Another feature which I'm not particularly keen on, I would prefer if it was integrated into the compressor itself, is this little attachment that we've got here. Whilst it does allow you to adjust the actual pressure and also gives you a condenser unit as well, which is definitely an improvement over the mini compressor we looked at in the previous video, it doesn't quite sit well with me. I'd much rather prefer it here, not impacting on my actual airbrush itself. Now what I'll do is I'll pop a link in the description below to take you directly to the airbrushes.com web store, where this is available for £150, which again is an excellent price for a beginner. It's quite a low entry point airbrush compressor. I wouldn't recommend it for anyone who's maybe upgrading from a previous airbrush. I'd definitely probably spend a little bit more and go for a model or two higher, but if you're starting out, then this is an excellent choice. So again, check out the link in the description below if you want to pick up one of these for yourself. Now, if you enjoyed this review, please do let me know in the comments below, and also what you think of these airbrushing videos that I've been doing in recent months. And also don't forget to subscribe to get up to date with all the future videos that I do. So until next time, thanks for watching and goodbye.